Have you ever found yourself wondering, why is this happening to me? You still feel desire. You still feel the connection. But when the moment comes, something is off. Your body does not respond the way it used to. And worse, it is happening more and more often. Not just once, not just after a long day, but consistently, quietly. And you start to ask, is this just age, or is something else going on? I want to be clear with you right now. If your erection has become weaker, slower to arrive, or more difficult to maintain, it is not just in your head, and it is not just age. In fact, one of the most common reasons this happens is sitting on your plate, or hiding in your fridge, or being sprinkled into your breakfast without a second thought. I am talking about food. Ordinary, everyday foods that most men eat without realizing how they affect blood flow, hormone levels, and sexual performance. I am Dr. Alan Pierce, and over the past 30 years, I have worked with thousands of men over 60, men who thought their best days were behind them, men who were silently struggling, just like you, and in many cases, the solution was not a prescription, it was subtraction, removing the wrong foods and letting the body heal naturally. Today, I am going to walk you through the most common foods that silently weaken male performance after 60, and, more importantly, I will show you what to do instead, so you can restore your energy, your strength, and your quiet confidence. Stay with me until the end, because you may be surprised by what is on the list, and what happens when you make just a few simple changes. Let me begin with what seems like the most innocent-sounding part of the day: breakfast. For many older men, breakfast is a habit formed over decades. A bowl of cereal, a slice of toast, maybe a small glass of orange juice or sweetened coffee. It feels comforting, safe, familiar, and most of all, it feels healthy. But what many men do not realize is that beneath that calm morning routine, a quiet disruption may be taking place. Because those same breakfast foods, especially the refined ones, can launch a chain reaction in your body that leaves your energy drained and your sexual performance compromised. Here is what happens. Refined grains and processed sugars cause your blood sugar to spike sharply. That quick burst of energy you might feel, it is fleeting. Moments later, your body goes into crash mode. But it is not just about energy dips. That glucose surge inflames the lining of your blood vessels. Your arteries lose their flexibility. They begin to stiffen and slow down. And when that slowdown affects circulation, guess what suffers first? The part of your body most dependent on quick, smooth blood flow: your penis. What feels like an innocent bowl of cereal may be quietly blocking the very thing that makes you feel alive and strong. When I sit with patients and ask them about their morning habits, I listen for clues. If I hear about instant oatmeal with added sugar, heavily buttered white toast, processed muffins, or flavored yogurts packed with sweeteners, I know we have found one of the underlying culprits. The good news? You do not need to overhaul your life. This is one of the easiest places to make meaningful change. When men begin their day with real nourishment, such as eggs, avocado, a handful of raw nuts, or plain Greek yogurt with berries, the change can feel almost magical. Their energy levels last longer, their cravings disappear, and perhaps most importantly, their confidence in the bedroom quietly returns, not because they added something new, but because they removed the interference. But breakfast is just the beginning. Let us move to another deeply held belief: meat. I want to tread carefully here, because for many men over 60, meat has been a lifelong symbol of strength, the centerpiece of dinner, a reward after hard work. And yes, clean, high-quality protein is essential for muscle maintenance, hormone support, and energy. But not all meat is created equal. The trouble begins with processed meats: sausages, bacon, deli slices, and even some fast food patties. These are not just meat. They are delivery systems for saturated fats, artificial preservatives, and hidden additives that quietly burden your arteries. Over time, these compounds harden your blood vessels, increase your levels of unhealthy cholesterol, and interfere with nitric oxide production. And nitric oxide, as many men discover too late, is the very molecule that triggers and maintains an erection. I remember one patient, 72 years old, always full of stories. He had bacon with breakfast and ham or salami sandwiches for lunch. He felt slower, more tired, and increasingly frustrated when it came to intimacy. We made one change. No more processed meats. Within 3 weeks, his blood pressure stabilized, his energy returned, and his intimate life came back online, with no pills, no prescriptions, just better food choices. This is not about cutting out meat entirely, it is about choosing differently. Grilled chicken seasoned with herbs, wild-caught fish rich in omega-3 fatty acids, or small portions of lean, grass-fed beef can still have a place on your plate. But greasy, heavily salted, factory-packaged meats, they are not feeding your strength. They are silently draining it. Now, let us talk about dairy, because this one surprises many older men. Dairy is often associated with bone health, comfort, or indulgence. A splash in your coffee, a slice of cheese, a creamy dessert. And while dairy is not inherently bad, the way your body processes it changes dramatically with age. Lactose tolerance diminishes. Sensitivity to the hormones and fats found in modern commercial dairy increases. And many dairy products on store shelves today are not the same as what you might have enjoyed in your youth. They contain synthetic additives, growth hormones, and a type of protein that can trigger systemic inflammation. Where does that inflammation go? Straight to your vascular system, the blood vessels, the highways your body depends on for strong, dependable erections. I often ask men to try a simple test. Cut out dairy completely for just 2 weeks. Observe what happens. The results: less bloating, clearer digestion, and, in many cases, renewed sexual function. The change feels like someone cleared a blockage you did not even know existed. Later, you can reintroduce small amounts of high-quality, organic dairy if your body tolerates it. But in the beginning, give your system a break. Let your blood flow freely again. Let your energy return without interruption. Another major player is hiding in your kitchen, your cooking oil. Most men have no idea that the oils they use daily are slowly working against them. Canola oil, soybean oil, corn oil, they sound harmless. They are labeled as vegetable oils, so people assume they are healthy. But these oils are industrially processed, chemically treated, and prone to oxidation when heated. And when oil oxidizes in your frying pan, it produces compounds that attack your arteries and nerves. Specifically, the endothelium, the delicate inner lining of your blood vessels, takes the hit. Once inflamed, your blood vessels cannot relax and expand the way they should, and without proper expansion, your ability to achieve and maintain an erection begins to fade. Switching to extra virgin olive oil or small amounts of grass-fed butter may seem like a small thing, but it is one of the most effective ways to support circulation and repair the lining of your blood vessels. Within weeks, many men report stronger morning erections, better endurance, and a deeper sense of inner vitality. Now, I want to speak gently but honestly about alcohol. It is a touchy subject, and for good reason. A glass of wine can be part of celebration. A drink in the evening may help you unwind. But for many men, alcohol becomes a quiet thief. It does not shout, it does not hurt, but over time, it takes away more than it gives. Alcohol reduces testosterone, interferes with sleep quality, and disrupts nerve signaling in the brain and body. And these 3 factors, hormones, rest, and nerves, are the pillars of male performance. I am not talking about one drink on your birthday. I am talking about the regular habit, the nightly 2 drinks, the weekend 6-pack, the silent pattern that chips away at your strength. One of my patients was a well-dressed gentleman in his late 60s. He drank 2 glasses of wine every night, not excessively, but gradually he felt more tired, more foggy, and less confident with his partner. After we discussed it, he agreed to limit alcohol to weekends only. 4 weeks later, he walked into my office with a smile that said everything. His energy was back, his desire returned, and his relationship felt alive again. The truth is, every choice we make with food or drink is either helping or hurting us. There is no neutral zone. You are either supporting your blood flow, your hormones, and your vitality, or you are allowing something to quietly erode them. That brings us to a powerful realization. You do not need to accept this slow fade into fatigue and frustration. You do not need to surrender to weak erections, low drive, or a quiet sense of defeat. That is not aging. That is inflammation. That is interference. And it can be reversed. When you take out the foods that harm you, refined cereals, sugary snacks, processed meats, commercial dairy, unstable oils, and daily alcohol, you clear the fog. You let your body work the way it was meant to work. You give yourself back the strength you thought was lost. And it starts with a question. What am I really feeding my body? What am I feeding my manhood? Small decisions, better choices, one morning at a time. That is the path to restoring your power, your intimacy, and your confidence. If you have found value in this message, if something inside you said, "Yes, this is what I needed to hear," then I invite you to subscribe. Stay connected. There is more coming. Real answers, real hope, real strategies for strong men who want to stay strong. You are not done. You are not declining. You are just getting started. With the right fuel, the right guidance, and the right mindset. I am Dr. Alan Pierce. I appreciate you spending this time with me, and I will see you in the next video.